My name is Aaron Mendoza. I'm the vice president at Baylor University for ALD. Today, I'll be talking about energizing your meetings. Unfortunately, none of the other officers could present with me today, so you're stuck with me. But yeah, I'm excited to be here, excited to talk to you about how to energize your meetings, how to get more people to come to them. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. So the agenda for today is just three really simple things. You can remember it from the acronym CFA, like Chick-fil-A: conciseness, familiarity, and accessibility. Those are the three things we'll talk about. Those are the three important things that every meeting should have. So first one, conciseness. Be efficient with your meetings. Conciseness is key. Everybody is busy. Even though we wish ALD was the main organization that everybody was involved in, that's unfortunately not mostly the case. Everybody has their club tennis or, their robotics club, and everybody's busy. They have their 3.5 GPA requirement, as you know. So you want to be able to fit into their schedule. You don't want to drag on meetings for too long. You want to make sure that they want to come to it because they know it's efficient use of their time. They don't want to waste their time going to something that they don't feel is as important. So being concise is going to really help you with that. And a meeting should not be a show. Even though a lot of people think that energizing your meeting means you have to be entertaining, you have to be, you have to make sure that everybody's having fun. That's not really what they're there for. Meetings are purposeful. Your distractions are going to detract from the purpose. Meetings are for announcements, making sure your members are on track, making sure your members know what's going on within the organization. If you're trying to be too fun, they'll just remember that instead of what they should be paying attention to. Always keep track of time. Currently, I'm timing myself with my phone, so I know it'll allow you to have an equal focus on all the topics you have and make sure you're going at a steady pace, just to make sure that everybody's paying attention to the right things. You're paying attention to the right things with the same amount of time. So more time for more important things and less time for less important things. Second, familiarity. So make it part of a routine. Don't try and switch it up every time. Surprises don't mean a bigger audience. It's like if your professor, he lectured the same way every time, you're used to it, and then all of a sudden a week happens and he just switches up everything and you have no idea what's going on. If you have a meeting like once every month, you say, and you change it up every time, they won't really know what to expect. And so don't really try and switch things up too much. Even though you may think it might help, it really doesn't. Keeping each meeting similar to the last creates a sense of familiarity. So people know what to expect, like I said before, and they'll know how much time it'll take as well. And so, like I said, with the whole professor analogy with lectures, you know what's happening within the class. So if you miss one, it's fine. Like, you can make it up because you know what you missed. And keeping that sense of familiarity makes it part of their schedule and makes it kind of weird, because if they miss, they're in the habit of going to these meetings, and if they miss one, they feel kind of weird. So keeping it part of a routine is really, really helpful. And stick to a script. You want to be a good salesperson. You don't really want to focus too much on making different scripts every time. Just make a good, simple one and then optimize it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about familiarity. Lastly, accessibility. Make it easier for the members. Use the resources generated by the pandemic. Although restrictions have, lessened over for the fall semester for COVID, we as a chapter still decided to do virtual meetings, simply because the attendance rate was so much higher with those. Even though we have the opportunity to go in person, we still decided to stick with Zoom. On average, we have about like 200 members every time for our meetings, which is substantial. And we don't depend entirely on live attendance. So as I said before, meetings are purposeful. They should be for announcements and, for getting your members, to know about your events. And so we record our meetings actually on Zoom. And then later that night, if you couldn't make it, we send out a link to the recording so you can watch it on your own time. And that has also helped with a lot more attendance for events because they can plan accordingly. And, it's easier to watch, which means more views. You're reaching out to more people. If somebody missed it and they're watching it on their own and like in the living room, the roommates see it, they're like, oh, that's cool. What is that? And then all of a sudden you got more people wanting to enjoy ALD. So just to quick recap, conciseness is key. Familiarity brings people back, and accessibility reaches more people. So remember those three things and your meetings will be top notch. So if you have any questions, please let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for having me today.